People are always asking me what is it like to deal with Jared Kushner. Can you tell Jared Kushner a message for me, or you can get an autograph? And I'm like, I don't see him a lot in at the White House or in Washington D.C. He's never there. I mean, he's really literally never there. He's always in L.A. shooting movies because he's the stunt double for The Rock. And people are always surprised when they tell them that. I'm like, well, you haven't seen him in person, or when he does the makeup. Granted, it doesn't take long. He takes this little cap, puts it over his hair, and then he goes like this and comes back, and he looks exactly like The Rock. It's shocking because you're like, how did you do that? And how did you do that so fast? And it all started when The Rock was cast in Fast Five, Fast and Furious Five, the Jackson Five, something, one of those movies. And the original stunt double got an injury because The Rock's in so many films. He just goes through stunt doubles. And we were all there watching our friend Princess Charlotte, because she's one of the stunt drivers for the Fast and Furious franchise. So we were all there watching, and production was going to be shut down because there was no stunt double for The Rock. And then Jared volunteers. He's like, I can do it. And they're like, you sure? And he's like, oh yeah, I can do it. And so then they called the studio, and the studio wasn't sure. So Jared said, well, let me call my dad. So Jared called his dad, and his dad, is the money behind the Fast and Furious franchise. So he approved it because he didn't want to lose any money. And he figured Jared lived in his house for so many years, he owes him. I mean, Jared lived there for free. So he figured he owes him. So he was like, yeah, go ahead, let him do it. So then Jared got in there and did all the stunts for The Rock. And so then The Rock, who works so much, just hired him on full time. So now Jared does all the stunts for all the films starring The Rock, and the studio's happy because they don't have to worry about The Rock getting injured, because The Rock's such a valuable commodity nowadays. So when it comes back to his work in the White House, he's never there. People he's always doing, people think he's always crafting policy and directing Trump and Congress and Supreme Court. He's never there. He's always shooting. I mean, he comes there maybe a day or two in a month. Most of the time he's shooting. And if he's there in the White House, he's bulking up. I mean, granted, when he's not shooting, he loses the weight, so that's most of the times you see him in public. But if he has a role, he's in the weight room, and he puts on muscle really quick. So you're kind of wondering, first the face, now the muscle. Dude, what do you on? I personally think it's some alien technology, because I know for a fact he did an internship at Area 51. But he will not admit to it, but I've seen the records. And so he probably snuck some alien technology out of there, or maybe he had his dad buy it for him. But anyway, so you guys need to stop asking me about him. And no, I can't get autographs. I can't have him sign your t-shirt or your new Jordans. He's never there. If you want to find him, you need to go out to LA and try to sneak on one of those movie sets, and maybe you'll catch him.